In a world that often celebrates the loudest voice in the room, your ability to listen deeply, process thoughtfully, and connect authentically sets you apart. As a highly sensitive, introverted leader, you have likely felt the pressure to conform to extroverted leadership ideals. Today, we're flipping the script. Your sensitivity is not a weakness to overcome, it's the foundation of your authentic presence as a leader. Let's get into how. Let's talk about authentic presence versus traditional executive presence. For far too long, executive presence has been synonymous with commanding attention, speaking without hesitation, and filling every silence. But authentic presence, being in true congruence with your natural style and strengths, creates far greater impact than performing someone else's version of leadership. This impact comes in many forms. It's the thoughtful email that articulates what everyone was thinking but couldn't express, the quiet observation that shifts the entire strategy, the deep listening that makes team members feel truly understood. These are all manifestations of executive presence that don't require raising your voice or dominating the conversation. You have a leadership advantage. Your heightened sensitivity gives you access to information that others miss. You notice subtle shifts in team dynamics. You process information deeply, spotting connections that others overlook. You anticipate needs and concerns before they're voiced. You bring emotional intelligence to decision making. These aren't peripheral leadership skills, they are central to effective leadership in today's complex, human centered workplaces. And let's reframe introversion in leadership. Now, not all highly sensitive leaders are introverted, but many are, up to 80% by some accounts. So, whether you identify as highly sensitive and introverted or not, you will benefit from keeping these things in mind. When you lead from your introversion rather than despite it, something really powerful happens. Thoughtful communication becomes more valued than quick responses. As a leader who thinks before speaking, you model the importance of reflection. Your team learns that well considered insights outweigh reactive comments. Listening becomes a cornerstone of your culture. When the leader listens deeply, the entire team begins to listen differently. Your natural tendency to absorb before responding creates space for all voices. And depth replaces constant activity. Introverted leaders often prefer meaningful progress over constant motion. This focus on depth rather than busyness can transform how your team approaches their work as well. Now let's get into some practical strategies for cultivating authentic presence. First, leverage written communication. Your ability to articulate thoughts clearly in writing is a tremendous asset. Use thoughtful emails, well crafted documents, and even handwritten notes to communicate in ways that play to your strengths. Create intentional speaking moments. Rather than forcing yourself to speak up constantly, identify key moments where your voice will have the most impact. Prepare thoughtfully for these moments so you can speak with clarity and conviction. Embrace the power of the pause. Your comfort with silence is actually a superpower. In meetings, use thoughtful pauses to signal the importance of what you're about to say, create space for deeper thinking, and allow others to process before moving on. Also, design your leadership environment. Structure your leadership approach to honor your energy needs. Schedule recovery time between meetings, create deep work blocks on your calendar, and establish communication norms that respect boundaries. And then cultivate one on one connections. While large group settings might drain you, many introverted leaders excel in individual connections. Make these a cornerstone of your leadership approach through regular one on one meetings, mentoring relationships, and personal check ins. And we can't overlook the quiet authority paradox. There is a fascinating paradox at work when highly sensitive, introverted people lead. Your quiet authority often carries more weight precisely because you use it selectively. When someone who speaks infrequently suddenly leans forward with intensity and says something like, I have a concern about the direction we're taking, everyone listens. Your words carry more weight because they're not constantly in circulation. What I really want is for you to embrace your full sensitive self. True executive presence isn't about being someone else. It's about being fully yourself with confidence. For highly sensitive leaders, this means honoring your need for processing time, acknowledging when you're overwhelmed, setting boundaries that protect your energy, sharing your depth of feeling when appropriate. And when you embrace these aspects of yourself rather than hiding them, you give others permission to bring their full humanity to work as well. There is real power in congruence. When you lead from a place of congruence where your outward leadership style aligns with your inner nature, something transformative happens. You stop expending energy trying to be someone else and instead channel that energy into genuine connection and impact. This congruence is immediately felt by those around you, building trust and inspiring others to bring their full authentic selves to work also. I'll leave you with this. Your sensitivity, introversion, and thoughtfulness are not obstacles to overcome on your leadership journey. They're the very qualities that make your leadership distinctive and powerful. The world does not need more leaders who speak the loudest or move the fastest. It needs leaders who listen deeply, think carefully, and connect authentically. It needs the quiet power that you, as a highly sensitive, introverted leader, naturally bring. Your leadership presence doesn't need to be manufactured or forced. It simply needs to be uncovered and embraced. True authentic presence comes from being in complete congruence with who you are. The power you've been searching for has been within you all along, in your sensitivity, your thoughtfulness, and your quiet strength. Remember, alchemist leaders don't just adapt to challenges, they transform them. Take a moment today and ask yourself, what's the alchemy opportunity here? What does this make possible? Keep turning your unique perspective into leadership gold. I'll see you next week.